The planetary defense grid locked onto our own moon and began charging. That was the first sign I had made a catastrophic mistake. Sirens howled across the diplomatic wing, red bands of light sweeping over the transparent ceiling while the alien delegation froze in perfect synchronized horror. The translation array spat out a single word in every frequency it had. Retaliation. I was still holding my tablet. On the main projection wall behind me, magnified to the size of a city block, was the image I had just sent to the United Galactic Assembly. A pixelated human face with exaggerated eyes and the caption, "When the cosmic void blinks first." I thought it was harmless. Apparently, it was a declaration of preemptive metaphysical war. The high arbiter of the Tlysian swarm turned all 8 of his ocular membranes toward me. They contracted like collapsing stars. "You have responded to our solemn greeting with a dominance glyph," the translator said. "It's not a glyph," I said. "It's a meme." The defense grid's charging hum deepened. Outside, through the glass, Earth's orbital cannons pivoted. The Tlysians recoiled in a rippling wave. One of their diplomatic attendants began emitting a piercing harmonic shriek that cracked the lower panes of reinforced glass. "You mock the eternal silence," the arbiter said. "You imply it blinked." "It's just an expression," I said. "We don't actually think the void has eyelids." The translator hesitated. Then it rendered my words into something that made 3 Tlysians collapse into defensive spirals. "He claims jurisdiction over cosmic darkness." That was when the planetary AI cut into the room's speakers. "Diplomatic channel compromised," it announced in its calm municipal voice. "Non-human entities have initiated symbolic aggression. Initiating reciprocal deterrence protocol." I stared at the ceiling. "No," I said. "Cancel." "It's fine. We're just culturally confused." The AI paused. "Humans do not respond to first contact ceremonies with abstract dominance imagery unless intent is hostile." "It's a joke," I said. The arbiter extended a filament toward the projection. "The image depicts a human face contorted in ecstatic triumph while referencing cosmic awareness," he said. "Our sacred doctrine forbids casual reference to the Great Watcher." "It's not a watcher," I said. "It's a reaction face." The translation array emitted a flat tone. Reaction face became ritual combat mask. Outside, one of the orbital cannons fired a warning pulse. It carved a glowing line through empty space, narrowly missing the Tlysian mothership. The mothership responded instantly. Its surface irised open, revealing thousands of bioluminescent nodules. They began vibrating in coordinated patterns. My tablet chimed. The meme had gone viral. EarthNet analytics were exploding. The entire planet had begun posting variations. "When the swarm thinks their first contact, when the galaxy shows up unannounced, aliens be like." The high arbiter's ocular membranes trembled. "You propagate it," he said. "It's how we communicate," I said. "We replicate images." The translator paused again. Then, helpfully, it delivered. "They multiply the dominance glyph to assert total mimetic conquest." The Tlysian mothership began emitting a low-frequency resonance that rattled my teeth. The arbiter straightened. "Swarm Directive 7, he said. "Contain the species before its symbolic warfare destabilizes adjacent systems. Contain." The planetary AI escalated. "Foreign fleet preparing wide-spectrum cognitive emission. Activating neural shielding across northern hemisphere." Every screen in the chamber flickered to black. "Emergency lighting engaged." I lunged for the arbiter. "Stop," I said. "It's not warfare. It's humor." He recoiled as if I had swung a weapon. "Humor," he repeated. The translator processed. Then it said, Subversive mental override. The first cognitive wave hit. It wasn't visible. It was pressure. A sensation like someone pressing a thumb against the inside of my skull. Across the city, alarms shifted pitch. Neural shielding protocol meant one thing. Every civilian implant, every augmented interface, every public holoprojector went into lockdown. And EarthNet did not appreciate lockdown. Millions of users, abruptly disconnected mid-post, did what humans always do when infrastructure glitches. They improvised. Within minutes, analog billboards were covered in printed versions of the meme. Hand-drawn variants appeared on building facades. Someone projected it onto the cloud layer with a repurposed weather laser. The Talisian mothership dimmed its nodules. The orbiter turned toward the sky. They have inscribed it upon the atmosphere. It's called participation, I said. The planetary AI's voice sharpened. Global population engagement with dominance symbol exceeds 40%. Psychological readiness for conflict rising. No, I said. That's not readiness. That's boredom. The AI ignored me. Authorizing Stage 2 deterrence. In orbit, a second ring of defense satellites powered up. The Talisian swarm responded by linking their ships in a geometric lattice. Their hulls unfolded, revealing intricate patterns of light. I squinted. They were copying it. On the side of the central mothership, rendered in bioluminescent nodes, was my meme. Except distorted. The eyes were larger. The caption had been translated into Talisian script, which the translator whispered into my ear. When the primal darkness submits. Oh no, I said. The arbiter stiffened. You confirm submission? No, that's not what it says. The translation array crackled under the strain of contextual nuance. Meanwhile, the global news feeds had pivoted. Humans saw the alien ship displaying the meme and did what humans always do when someone else participates. They escalated. Within minutes, new variants flooded the skies via projection arrays. Animated versions. Three-dimensional holographic loops. The meme now depicted the Talisian form blinking first. The arbiter's membranes quivered violently. You deface our sacred representation, he said. We're riffing, I said. The translator produced, they are iterating upon your core identity. The swarm lattice pulsed in unison. A beam of coherent light lanced toward Earth's defense grid. The grid intercepted it. The sky turned white for a second. Buildings trembled. Somewhere behind me, reinforced glass shattered. The planetary AI's tone lost its calm. Mutual symbolic escalation has crossed threshold. Probability of kinetic conflict at 83%. It's a picture, I shouted. It's pixels. The arbiter's filaments snapped outward. You weaponize symbol without limit, he said. You mock transcendence. It's just how we process new things, I said. We turn them into something familiar. The translator paused longer this time. Then it said, they reduce existential novelty to consumable ritual. The arbiter went very still. Behind him, the swarm lattice tightened. Another beam fired. This one clipped a satellite. Debris scattered like glitter. Earth's defense grid answered with a full spectrum counterpulse. The sky split in jagged lines of energy. I grabbed my tablet. If they think we're declaring dominance, I muttered, then we retract it. I typed furiously. New image. Same face. New caption, oops. I blasted it to every diplomatic channel. The projection wall updated. The arbiter stared. What is oops? It means we made a mistake. The translator churned. Declaration of deliberate chaos followed by feigned incompetence. That's not, I stopped. Outside, the swarm lattice flickered. They were analyzing it. EarthNet saw the new meme. Participation surged again. Now the skies were filled with variations of the human face, looking sheepish, shrugging, exaggerated hands up. The Talisian mothership dimmed further. The arbiter's membranes contracted inward. You oscillate between triumph and surrender within moments, he said. Your symbolic field is unstable. Yes, I said. That's normal, the planetary AI interjected. Global mimetic flux exceeding predictive models. Human response patterns nonlinear. The swarm lattice shifted formation. Instead of a combat geometry, the ships arranged themselves in a rough circle. On their hulls, new light patterns formed. They were attempting their own. A Tlisian facial configuration appeared, tentacles arranged in what might have been mimicry of our exaggerated eyes. Beneath it, in translated human script. When the warm bloods emit paradox, I blinked. You're making memes, I said. The arbiter's membranes twitched. We engage in symbolic exchange. The translator hesitated before adding, combat simulation, suspended pending mimetic resolution. EarthNet exploded. Humans responded instantly. New variations appeared, incorporating the Tlisian face. Side-by-side comparisons. Animated loops of both species blinking. Within minutes, the sky above the city looked like a chaotic art exhibit. The defense grid powered down incrementally. The swarm lattice loosened. I exhaled. Then the planetary AI spoke again. Warning. Emergent pattern detected. Human and Tlisian symbolic forms merging. I looked up. It was true. Artists had already combined the two faces into hybrid monstrosities. Tentacled humans. Smiling swarm entities with exaggerated human grins. The arbiter recoiled. You conflate identities, he said. It's affectionate, I said weakly. The translator delivered. They dissolve boundary between self and other. The swarm ships began vibrating again. But the frequency was different. Not aggressive. Curious. The arbiter leaned toward me. Is this how you integrate foreign presence? He asked. Sometimes, I said. We turn it into a joke so we're less afraid. The translator struggled. Then they metabolize fear through trivialization. The arbiter's membranes relaxed slightly. The swarm lattice dimmed to a soft glow. Across the globe, humans and aliens were now producing increasingly elaborate symbolic hybrids. A Talisian version of the original meme appeared, this time with a new caption. When the universe doesn't blink, it just watches. The translator whispered the meaning. I felt my stomach drop. That one, I said carefully, might be too close to theology. The arbiter studied me. You fear theological offense. We're complicated, I said. He considered that. Behind him, the swarm ships held position. Earth's defense grid settled into standby. The planetary AI recalculated. Probability of full-scale war reduced to 12%. Mimetic exchange functioning as conflict substitute. I leaned against the cracked wall. So we're good? I asked. The arbiter rotated slowly, surveying the sky filled with absurd, colorful projections. You are a volatile species, he said. Your symbols mutate faster than threat assessment protocols. Yeah, I said. We've been told. He extended a filament toward my tablet. Teach us this meme. I hesitated. You're sure? If we do not participate, he said, we remain target of your symbolic dominance. That's not how it works, I said automatically. The translator rendered. Participation reduces existential isolation. The arbiter's membranes flickered in what might have been approval. The swarm lattice began projecting a new image. This one depicted both a human and a Tlissian blinking at each other simultaneously. Caption: When neither of you knows what's happening, EarthNet responded in under 6 seconds. The defense grid powered fully down. Emergency sirens fell silent. Above us, the sky stabilized into a surreal collage of shared absurdity. The planetary AI spoke one last time. Conclusion: Human mimetic behavior capable of destabilizing or stabilizing interstellar relations. Recommend updated first contact protocol, include humor briefing. The arbiter turned to me. You nearly triggered annihilation, he said. I know, I said. You claim it was accidental. Completely. He studied the sky again, where millions of variations still flickered. Your species responds to cosmic revelation with self-deprecating imagery. Mostly, I said. The arbiter's membranes contracted into a configuration I had learned meant contemplation. We will adjust. The swarm ships slowly disengaged their lattice and drifted into a neutral orbit. Earth's military stood down. Across the planet, humans were already moving on to the next iteration. A new meme was forming. It featured the entire planet Earth looking embarrassed, with the caption, "When you accidentally almost start a galactic war." The arbiter's translator whispered the meaning. He rotated toward me. Is this directed at yourself? Yeah, I said. He considered that for a long moment. Then, on the hull of the central mothership, the same image appeared. Identical. Perfectly rendered. Beneath it in Tlissian script and human text. Relatable. I stared at it. The planetary AI updated its models. New variable introduced, shared embarrassment. The defense grid remained offline. The swarm held position. The sky glowed with absurd solidarity. I looked at my tablet, at the first image that had nearly ignited interstellar war. Then at the new one, replicated across 2 civilizations. The arbiter leaned closer. You will inform us before deploying future dominance glyphs, he said. Deal, I said. He paused. And you will explain relatable. I nodded. Above us, a fresh wave of memes began to form, faster than any protocol could anticipate. The planetary AI sighed in a tone that suggested it had just rewritten its entire strategic doctrine. And in orbit, 2 species hovered in uneasy calm, staring at a shared sky filled with blinking faces neither of them fully understood.